Good morning. Just going to give it a few minutes just to let people join. So if you're joining us live this morning, make sure that you have a chair that you can sit comfortably in. And if you're doing this on a catch-up, you can take all the time you need just to get a chair that preferably doesn't have any arms, and one that you can sit comfortably and upright in to do your practice this morning. So good morning. If you're joining us live this morning on this Be Healthy Together Facebook page, then just send us a message to let us know that you're here. If you have any questions or concerns, then just raise those at the beginning of the class. Going to be doing a really gentle class today, so listening to your body and its needs. Because I'm not with you, I can't see how you're doing through this class. Morning, Pat. Lovely to have you joining us. It really is nice when people join live, but if you're watching this on a catch-up later at any stage, then welcome to you too. You can make this your own practice, whatever time you're joining in. But good morning, I hope you're well today, and you've been all keeping well. I miss being with you. Hopefully at some point we will all be able to be back together again. It's a strange time doing this sort of thing online without actually being with people. But hopefully we are able to feel connected in some way anyway. So what's the weather been doing? Hey, let's just stop to talk about that at the beginning of the class, because we went, didn't we, from beautiful weather to it's actually quite chilly. Good morning, Francis. Really nice to have you joining as well. So I was just, being a bit British and talking about the weather because I actually thought about having the heating on last night, which seemed a little bit mad in June, but maybe some of you have your heating on, I don't know. Anyway, down to yoga business. Good morning if you've joined us. Say hello. My name's Claire, and I'm going to be taking us in through a gentle class this morning with, as usual, some breathing, some good stretching, and a bit of relaxation at the end of the class. So the theme of today's class is strength. So our practice today hopefully will enable us to feel a little stronger, both physically but also within ourselves. So in our bodies but also within ourselves. I don't know how each of you are feeling out there, whether you're joining us this morning or watching this at some point through the day or the week. But I'm sure that we're all experiencing ups and downs, just generally. I'm willing to bet there are a whole host of emotions out there among us all, particularly at the moment. Perhaps there might be some feelings of frustration, sadness, loss, or even anger at our current situation. And we've probably all felt all of these emotions and many others to different degrees over the last few weeks. And maybe they vary through your day. One day you might be feeling one thing, another day another thing. So that's okay. I think we're going to meet all these emotions this morning just as they are, as we are feeling them, without heaping lots of judgment and criticism on ourselves for how we're feeling. We just feel how we feel. A build-up of these emotions can lead to us feeling quite down, I think, perhaps weakened. So that's really why I wanted to focus our practice this morning more on a feeling of strength. So looking to find a little bit of strength within ourselves. Not looking for any kind of miraculous cure-all, but I do believe that yoga can be a healing practice. It can bring us to a place of healing, whatever we believe. So perhaps going a little bit into the roots of yoga. I might do this a little bit more next week as well. But just thinking about what yoga means to us and how we can access this physical practice in order to bring about physical changes, but also perhaps some mental stability and strength as well. So first things first, let's find ourselves a comfortable chair. So one where we can sit up fairly straight. We need to be able to sit up straight wherever we are, so that we can give ourselves space to breathe, a really important part of our practice. So theme of our class, finding strength within our bodies, but also within ourselves. To that inside place where we can perhaps recognize all of those emotions and still the mind a little. Perhaps end this practice feeling a little stronger within ourselves. So find that comfortable seat, sit up nice and straight and begin to take a few deeper breaths. If you're comfortable closing down your eyes, you might like to do that. If that doesn't feel very comfortable for you, then just lower your gaze down to the ground in front of you. And just soften your gaze so that you begin to bring your awareness a little more inside yourself. And then think a little bit, just take a moment to think about how you feel. So be honest with yourself, but don't beat yourself up for how you're feeling. It's okay to feel whatever you feel like. So as you take those few deeper breaths, just turning slightly inward, noticing how you feel. And knowing that that's okay. Can you hear that little scratching noise? That's my dog, who I'm actually going to let in. So if you're sitting here quietly, I'm going to let a guest into our yoga session. Come on in, Jess. Here we are. So this is live yoga. Little dogs going through the practice. Turning back our attention, dealing with those distractions and just coming into that slightly stiller place. And then think about how you would like to feel. So spend a moment thinking about how we actually feel. And this can be a personal thing for each of you. So thinking about how you would like to feel through this practice. It can be any intention, to feel calmer, to feel peaceful, to feel happy. Or I just invite you to follow my intention for the class today, which is to feel stronger within myself. So noticing for myself that those quite negative emotions sometimes that arise out of situations, feelings of frustration or anger or low mood, can leave you feeling slightly weak. So my intention for this class, for myself, and I'd invite you to join me in that, is just to feel a little stronger through this practice. So for the next few breaths, have a sense that you are breathing in as you inhale, that sense of intention for yourself, whatever that is. So if that's strength, you might like to say to yourself, I am strong as I breathe in. And then as you exhale, let go of any negative feelings. This can be hard to do, but imagine a sense of stress or tension, worry, anger, whatever it is for you. just leaving your body with each exhale. Or just feel that sense of release and relaxation with your exhale. So breathing in that intention, I am strong. And out any worry or stress. You can have your eyes closed or really soften your gaze through this slightly deeper breathing at the beginning of our practice here. You might even like to count your breath if focusing on your emotions is not something you're at all comfortable with. Then perhaps just count your breath, counting in to the count of 3 or 4 and out the same. So there are no real rules through this class. I'm just offering you a guide to the practice, and you can take from that whatever feels right for you, whether that's emotionally or physically through this practice. So listening to your body as well as we begin to move into a physical part of the practice. If there's something that really doesn't feel right for your body or it feels painful, then just stop that part of the practice or ease off, take a gentler form of a stretch and then rejoin in when you feel ready. So a few more of those deep breaths. Inhaling, I am strong, and exhaling, releasing stress. This is a good way of listening to that internal voice or changing that internal voice a little bit when we slow down and we breathe like this. It's a good time perhaps to ask ourselves what that internal voice is saying to us. So if it's saying, you're so stupid, or you're not feeling great, just turning it around so that it's trying to say to you, you're doing your best, or you're doing okay. Having that sense of self-reflection through our practice can be really helpful. Okay, so if you had your eyes closed, just very slowly begin to open them. If you're looking down at the ground, you might like to lift your gaze, open them up. Take one big inhale and stretch through arms and legs, really wakening up the body as we begin to think about taking a physical stretch through the whole body. Maybe turning the wrists in that stretch, turning the head from side to side. Big breath in and a sigh out as you come to sitting back up straight. And if you feel that your knees are way down, you might like to just grab something to put under your feet. I have a block or a big book works just as well. Just to raise your feet up so that you can sit comfortably. Remind yourself now to sit up straight, creating as much space in the body for our breath to arrive in as we can. And you might like to, in moments of stillness through this practice, just come back to that breath. Come back to that sense of breathing in a positive intention, whatever that is for yourself. So beginning with that right foot, not changing our practice too much today, even though we have this theme of I am strong. We're going to build up some exciting yoga poses later in the practice, but we'll start off just warming up the whole body, taking turns with each ankle in turn. Involve the toes, give them a wiggle as you rotate that ankle in one direction and then slow it down and turn it around the other way. So turning those circles back the other way. Sitting up straight, looking down at the ankle and keeping your lovely steady breath going. And then release that foot, we'll do that with the other ankle. Just taking those circles. You can have your socks on or off. It's pretty chilly in this room today for me, so I'm just keeping my socks on to be comfortable. To slow that down, turn the circles back the other way. If you have bare feet, well done. You'll be able to really feel the ground beneath your feet, especially. If you have your slippers or your shoes on, I just encourage you maybe to take them off, just so that you can move your feet a little more and feel the ground beneath your feet. So as we press our feet down into the ground here, let's rise up on our toes as high as we can, and then release the heels to the ground and lift the front of the feet up. Noticing, keep breathing as we do this. We'll just do that alternately as we breathe, and noticing where you feel that stretch in your legs. Lovely. Then stretching out one leg, bringing the heel to the ground. So you might need to come quite far forward on your chair to do this. Sitting up straight and flexing the toes of that leg towards you. Straightening through that leg. Keep the other one bent, and you can bring both hands to the top of that bent leg. And with a really nice straight back, hinge forward from your hips here. Just a little, or quite far, depending on how tight your hamstring is here. You'll feel that in the back of that straightened leg as you flex those toes towards you, sort of pushing away with the heel. And take some nice deep breaths here. Come back to saying to yourself, I am strong, as you hold this pose. Feel that release of tension with every exhale. But breathe in that sense of strength with every inhale. Lovely. Draw yourself back up to sitting up straight and draw that leg in. If it's comfortable for you and you don't have any hip issues, raise up that ankle and cross it over the left thigh and let that knee just drop open. Sitting up straight here, you might really feel that in the outside of your hip. If that feels painful, or you have any hip issues, then just sit this out. But otherwise, you might again like to hinge yourself forward, feeling sort of that stretch in that outside hip intensify there. And again, let's send some of those lovely deep breaths into that part of your body that you feel stretching. Breathing in that sense of strength as you hold this pose, and breathing out any tension. Relax the shoulders as you breathe out. Lovely. Sitting back up straight. Let's release that leg and straighten out the opposite leg. Bring the heel down to the ground. Stretch the toes towards you up. Really straighten through that leg, keeping the other one bent. You can bring both hands to the top of that thigh. And then sitting on the edge of your chair, maybe even lean forward slightly, just over that straightened leg. Notice where you feel that stretch and what that feels like. And then breathe in. Breathe in that sense of strength as you hold this pose. Breathe out. Release that tension through the body. Couple more lovely deep breaths here. Well done. Inhale, sitting back up straight. Bring that leg in, and as you do that, raise that ankle and bring it over the top of that opposite thigh. Keep the toes really flexed in that bent leg. And this might feel quite different on this side. You might feel more of a stretch in the outside of that hip, or less. If this is really uncomfortable in terms of actually feeling painful for you, or you have hip issues, just sit out. We won't be long here. Sitting up straight again. Draw the core muscles in here a little bit. By that I mean just draw your tummy button in. And then maybe a little lean forward to intensify that stretch. You might enjoy that, you might hate it, in which case sit up straight again if you're not happy sitting with that level of discomfort. Taking a few breaths here. Breathe in, say to yourself, I am strong. As you breathe out, feel that release of tension through the body. Relax your shoulders. Lovely. Inhale yourself back up straight and release that foot to the ground. We'll just tap all the way down the legs now. You can tap with your palms or you can make small fists. Tapping all the way down the legs, rolling over the legs and then back up the outside of the legs. Do that once more. So tapping all the way down. Maybe get all the way down to your feet and give your feet a tap and then all the way back up the outside. Go round to the lower back and give your lower back a bit of a massage here. Connected to our digestive system, our hips that we've just stretched out there, our lower back, well done. And then relax the hands in the lap, but so we're still sitting forward in the chair. You can take hold of the bottom of the chair if you're in a wheelchair with arms, perhaps the arms of the chair, and release your upper back towards the back of the chair. So you're sitting now with your upper back supported, sitting quite far forward in the chair. We'll raise that first leg up and begin to take some small circles with the leg. So again, warming up this hip joint, but also our core muscles are working here. Point the toes away from you as you do this week. Lovely, smallish circles. Probably looks quite funny, doesn't it, with my foot coming towards the camera as I'm sitting back. Lovely, slow that down. And take 6 back the other way. Random thoughts that occur to you while you're teaching an online yoga class. 5, and one more, 6, and then release that leg. Take a really big breath in, and a sigh out. Lovely. And then raise that other leg. Take some small circles. Doesn't matter which direction. We're just warming up that hip joint. Firing up these core muscles as you draw that tummy button in to support your back, support the joint that's working hard here. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath as you do this. If it's comfortable for you, breathing in and out through the nose. Lovely, slow it down, let's take 6 back the other way. You can make them a little bigger, slower with your breath. 4, 5 and 6. Well done. Release that leg. Big breath in. Open the lips and sigh out. Feel that release of tension. Now just raising both legs here actually ahead of you. So before we do that, engage the core. So begin to draw the tummy in. Sitting up straight with your back supported by the back. You might want to raise one leg first and then the other leg. If you're really enjoying that, let's stretch our arms out. We're really firing up the core muscles here. Holding our boat pose, or Navasana, if you want the lovely Sanskrit word for that. Well done. Release that. Another big breath in, and a sigh out. Come to sitting back up straight again, and we'll hug that first knee in towards us. So maybe you can hug it right in close to you, or maybe it's a little lower, that's fine. Sit up straight and just draw that knee up and towards yourself as you take some of those deep breaths. Every time you're sitting up straight, especially as you breathe in, saying to yourself those words, I am strong, or having that sense of strength as you inhale. Lovely. Release that leg, draw the other one in. Good few deep breaths. I am strong. Lovely. Releasing that leg. Send your legs out a little wide. We're going to take a goddess pose here, because I think this is a really strong pose. When you send your feet slightly out to the sides, feet flat on the ground, sitting up straight. If you're in a wheelchair here so that you're raised, it might be helpful to have a block either side here to just raise your feet up. Your legs don't have to be particularly wide. Just wait a moment for you to find any blocks or a couple of books that you can put your feet on, perhaps. Sitting up straight. Lovely. And then bend the arms at the elbow. Have those out to the side as well. Elbows coming out. Fingers spread really wide. And tummy drawing in slightly so that we're still holding ourselves up with this core engaged here. Take a couple of deep breaths just like this. Lovely. And then we're going to begin to move the upper body. So as we breathe in, a twist to the right, keeping our arms wide, breathing out, come back to the center, and then breathing in to turn to the other side. Exhale back to center. Keep the fingers spread really wide, the hands engaged here. Beginning to feel this in your shoulders. Then don't worry, we'll just do one more. Back to center. Inhale and exhale. One big stretch up. And then exhale, relax the hands to the lap. Take a few shoulder shrugs here. So just inhaling, bringing shoulders up. As you exhale, release them down the back. And then a couple in the other direction. Just release any tension from the shoulders. Well done. Then with legs still wide this morning, we'll begin to take our cat-cow movement. So bringing in some movement to the individual vertebrae in our spine. As we breathe in, leaning forward, open the chest and look up. As we breathe out, rounding down through the spine. So the tummy draws in and the chin comes down to the chest. Trying not to lean too heavily on your hands in your lap. So really holding yourself upright and inviting that movement into the spine. Move with your breath here. So inhaling, little back bend, open the chest. Exhale, round out through the spine, drop the chin. If you like to close your eyes down in this part of the practice, then feel completely free to do that. Just draw the focus inward a little. Maybe keep that mantra of strength going to yourself as you breathe in. That feeling of strength with every inhale and exhaling. Releasing tension or worry or stress from the body. Lovely. Coming to sit back up straight again, noticing how the spine feels there. We'll take another twist for the body, but this time with our arms low. So inhale, finding length. As we exhale, let's turn to the right, just the upper body turning. Inhale, I feel strong, and exhale, relax the shoulders. Let the tension go. One more breath, and then come back to the center. Take a breath in the center there, and then inhale to find a real length in your spine. Exhale to turn the upper body to the opposite side. Just bring your hands to the outside of your leg or the chair. Draw the tummy in as you turn here. Just give yourself a bit more space. Keep breathing. Lovely. Inhale back to center. We'll take a side stretch here on each side. We're going to bring the arms up again for this one. So either bringing arms up to the side like this, if that feels too much for your shoulders, or just do it with arms down. You can raise one arm up if you like, but both arms cactusing, fingers spread really wide. Breathe in, and then as you exhale, leaning to the side here. Inhale back to center and exhale over to the other side. So you can see how the arms are staying fairly stable, and the twist, the side stretch is coming from the torso, from my middle of the body. So my neck's not really moving that much either. Keep breathing as you do this, exhaling down to each side, inhaling to draw yourself back up to center. The core muscles will be working as you do this as well. Okay, one more each side. Inhale back to center. Inhale. Relax the arms, couple of shoulder shrugs in either direction. Release that tension. Lovely. Bring the feet back together onto the book or block, whatever you have in front of you, if you have anything, or maybe you've got long legs and your feet just reach the ground. Very jealous. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach forward, stretch as far forward as you can, and then rounding down over the legs, all the way down. Doesn't matter how low you go here. Maybe your hands come all the way down to your feet, or maybe it's a higher up forward fold. And just feel that space in the upper body, in the back of your body, all the way through your spine. And try to allow your head and your neck and your shoulders to relax here and hang heavy. And take a few deep breaths into that space in the back of the body. And then very slowly begin to walk your hands up your legs. So draw your tummy muscles in as you pull yourself up, slowly uncurling the spine. We don't want to damage it by moving quickly, straightening up. So just bringing that head and the neck up last. And we'll arrive in our mountain pose or Tadasana pose. Feet flat on the ground, arms down alongside the body. Palms open, face forward, shoulders down, that crown of the head lifting up. And let's find a little moment of stillness here, just to send some of those deep breaths around our whole body. Maybe you'd like to close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. And then come back to that feeling of strength as you breathe in. Maybe even saying the words to yourself, I am strong. And a sense of release of any tension or negativity as you breathe out. Lovely. Inhale. Next time you inhale, send those arms wide and up overhead, and you can look up here. Bring the palms together to meet and take a couple of breaths in this tallest version, seated version of yourself here. Feel your arms, hands lifting towards the ceiling or the sky. Lovely. And then bring those hands, palms pressed together down towards the heart center. Another couple of breaths here as we continue sitting up straight. Release the shoulders. I am strong as you breathe in. Exhale. Release arms down beside you. Inhale. Send arms wide and up. This time we'll fold forward. So reaching forward as we breathe out. Rounding down. And then pushing through the feet. Send the arms wide and all the way up to come all the way back up to sitting. Reset those hands, palms together at heart center. Well done. Back to your mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward, round down over the legs. Inhale, push through the feet, draw the tummy in and come all the way back up. Look up. Exhale, bring hands back down to heart center. We'll do that once more. Inhale. way forward. Inhale, core muscles engage as you send your arms wide and up. Exhale, reset. And relax the arms. Bring the hands just into the lap there. And we'll take some circles with the neck. Just want to warm up the whole body. And then going to come into a few warrior poses. Just with this idea of strength. One of the lovely things about yoga, I think, are the warrior poses. They really give me a feeling of strength, whether I'm standing or sitting in a chair, doesn't matter. So we'll turn our attention to those in a moment, but I just want to get any tension out of the neck joint first. So taking these big, slow circles. Slow it down. The next time your chin is at your chest, just leave that there. Breathe into the space in the back of the neck. And then begin to circle back in the other direction. So taking small circles to begin with. And if that feels comfortable for your neck, increase the size of the circles. Notice how that feels for your neck. If you feel any clicks or tension, and just easing out those little niggles as you slowly rotate the head. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe as you turn your head. Sitting up nice and straight. Couple more circles there. Inhaling and exhaling as you do that. Next time your chin's down at your chest, clasp your hands in front of you and stretch them out ahead of you, making that space between the shoulder blades as big as you can. Breathe into that and then release those hands, bring them behind you, and as you lift your gaze, just open up the chest there. Lovely. And then come to sitting back up straight. In fact, before we do the warrior poses, I'm just going to show you one more yoga pose, Cobra, which if you were not seated in a chair, you would be lying on the ground, flat on your tummy, lifting up your chest. It's quite an invigorating, quite strenuous pose actually, to lift your gaze, your shoulders and your chest from the ground. But we can do this seated on a chair. You can do it with a couple of cushions on your lap with your arms down. But if you don't have cushions on your lap, just again, as we did before, bring your forearms up, bent at the elbow, but this time forward. So almost as if you're pressing away with your hands. Fingers spread wide. And then begin to really open up your chest. You can open your hands a little wider. Bring your gaze just forward and up, and open up this space at the front of the chest here. So you might want to bring your arms even wider. So almost as if you're imagining peeling open that chest, looking up ahead of you. Taking a few breaths here into that space. And then releasing the arms. And noticing how that feels for you, breathing into that space. I'm just going to show you another option there. If that felt too intense for your shoulders, if you have a couple of cushions on your lap, you can just have your forearms on those cushions, hands spread wide, and then begin to lean forward over the cushions. So this time, you're just leaning forward and opening up your chest here. So seated cobra, looking up, opening that space at the front of the neck as well, the front of the throat, and breathing into your chest. So send the breath into this open space around your heart. Lovely. Inhale, come to sitting back up straight. If you managed to grab cushions very quickly there to do that with me, well done. But we'll release those and just sit up straight. We're going to move through that forward fold sequence, and then move into our warrior sequence. So inhale, stretch arms wide and up. Exhale, reaching forward, rounding down over the legs, and then push through the feet as you breathe in. Send the arms wide and up again. Exhale, reset the hands at heart center. This time we're going to bring one foot forward. So you'll need to be sitting right on the edge of your chair for this. But one foot flat on the ground, knee bent, coming forward. And the other foot, the other leg, slightly more relaxed here. So you might see, if you go online, you'll see all sorts of wonderful ways to do these poses seated on a chair. Many of them involve stretching out this back leg really straight. But I think that puts a lot of pressure on the hip. So feel into this. If you want to stretch out that back leg and turn a little more sideways, and you're able to do that, feel free. But for now, I'm going to show you a much gentler option, which is just to bring one foot forward and one foot back with the leg quite relaxed. Turn your whole upper body over that forward leg so that you're looking in the direction of your front toes there, sitting up nice and straight, and draw in the tummy muscles here so the core is engaged. And by that I mean all the core, so the pelvic floor is lifting as well as the core muscles, which are ring fencing this whole midsection of your body here. Inhale, let's raise both arms up and look up towards the hands here. So we're in our warrior one here. Breathing into that front space in the body as we just did there in our cobra as well. A few deep breaths here. Now, this is a great place to really inhale that intention. So if you're breathing in, saying to yourself, I am strong, or inhaling a sense of strength as you hold this pose. 2 more breaths. Lovely. And then release the arms. We'll take that on the other side. So bringing that other foot out, opposite leg goes back here. And turning your torso this time over that front leg in the direction of those front toes. Inhale, arms come up. Breathe into the front of your body here and inhale that sense of strength. As you exhale, release the shoulders, feel that sense of release of tension, release of worry. One more breath. And then exhale, release everything, bring the feet to the center. Arms down by the side. One more forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, stretching forward. And then inhale, pressing through the feet, come all the way up. Well done. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Take that form with the legs again. So one leg, foot comes forward, one foot just relaxed, maybe slightly under the chair, both knees bent. And then turning yourself again over that front leg, palms together. And then stretching arms out to the side here. So let's bring our palms face up to begin with. Shoulders relaxed, and then turn that front hand down towards the ground and left hand down, back hand, sorry, down towards the ground. So both palms are down towards the ground here. Bring your gaze out over that front middle finger. As you stretch your fingertips away from each other here, I'm going to move my chair so you can see that front hand stretching away there from the back hand. Take 2 more breaths here. This is our warrior 2 position as we're seated here. Really have a sense that we're breathing in a sense of strength. If your arms begin to tire, release them just slightly. Or even bring them onto the hips, really to rest your shoulders. If you have a shoulder injury, that's a much gentler form. Inhale, turn that front hand over so the palm is up, and then raise it up up towards the ceiling, drop that back hand down. So this time we're looking up towards that top hand, really stretching through this side of the body here, and breathe into that side of your body. Another 2 breaths here. Lovely. And then release it. We'll take that on the other side. So other leg comes forward, left leg back. I've got my right leg forward, left leg back. Maybe you did it the opposite way around. It doesn't matter at all. But this time we'll do that on the other side. So stretching the arms out, this time with that front middle finger extended, palms down to the ground. If you had your palms face up to bring your hands up, place both palms down towards the ground, stretching out. If it's too much for your shoulders, just bring the hands to the waist instead. Open up this front part of the body. If you have your arms extended, stretch your fingertips away from each other. Feel the power of this pose here. This is your warrior 2 pose, and we just want to be breathing in that sense of strength as we hold this just for 2 more breaths. Exhale, relax your shoulders, but keep the tummy muscles all engaged. Lovely. Inhaling, turn that front hand and then bring it up above you. Drop the back hand down and look up towards that top hand so that you're really stretching through the side of your body here. And breathe into that side. We'll take 2 more breaths here. You might like to repeat that mantra to yourself, I am strong. Exhale, relax the shoulders. And then release that arm down. Come to sitting up straight once again. Let's take a roll down to release all tension. Send arms wide and up. Exhale all the way forward. Don't worry, we'll have a rest in just a moment. Inhale, send arms wide and up. And exhale to reset the hands at heart center. Allow the hands to come in onto the legs. And just take a moment here to notice how your body's feeling. So come back to your slow, steady breath. If you got a bit lost in all of that warrior sequence, don't worry about it. But it's all a practice, and it's all just about doing your best. Leave the rest. Notice how your body's feeling now. Whether you feel any different, a sense of change perhaps through your body. Perhaps if you held those poses for all those breaths and then released and relaxed at the end, you do feel a sense of strength through your body, having achieved that. Well done. So we'll take a few shoulder shrugs just to close down our physical practice here. Inhaling to draw shoulders right up to the ears, all the way back, and exhaling to release them down the body. Lovely, and the other way again. Well done. And then allow your body to come to a resting position in the chair here. So allow the back to be supported by the chair, your arms and your legs to really rest and relax on the ground and in your lap. And then allow your breath to be gentle. Take a few deep breaths here. Lovely. And then just allow your breath to be very gentle as it flows in and out, almost unnoticed. Relax your tummy muscles. And notice if you're holding any tension anywhere through your body now. Maybe your face, through any effort that you are putting in through your practice, is a bit clenched. We can often hold tension in our jaw. So just give that a wiggle, screw up your face and then relax it. Perhaps drop your chin ever so slightly towards your chest, so that you're not putting any effort into holding your head up. And begin to feel really supported by the ground and the chair beneath you. So there's no more work for you to do through this practice. You can give yourself permission to completely relax and enjoy this state of relaxation for as long as you want to this morning. So if you have nothing else to do and you've enjoyed that physical practice and want to give your body more of a rest, a longer rest, then feel free to just switch your phone or tablet or whatever device you're using off and enjoy a longer period of rest. Otherwise, I'll just bring our practice to a close in just a moment, after a few moments of peace. If you are ready to finish this practice, just begin to take some gentle movement through your body again. And maybe a few slightly deeper breaths as you begin to waken up the body to go back into the rest of your day. Maybe turning the wrists, and building up to a big stretch through the whole body. Take a really big breath in as you stretch out, fingers away from toes. And then as you breathe out, come to sitting up straight. Just finishing your practice with hands in the lap or palms pressed together in front of your heart. Sitting up nice and straight and just taking that final moment of inward reflection, noticing how you feel, perhaps just inviting that sense of strength one last time, and reminding yourself that you can take that feeling, that sense of strength with you from this practice into the rest of your day, your week ahead. Big breath in and a sigh out. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that practice and feel a little stronger, calmer, whatever it is after that, and enjoy the rest of your day. Look forward to practicing again with you. Enjoy everything else that Be Healthy Together has to offer this week for you. Lots of love to you all. Bye bye. Thank you.